Hey College and Career Success, welcome to week 12 of the semester. So we are almost to the end, which is a great time for me to go ahead and remind you about your student success workshops. Of course, this video has been embedded inside your course for 12 weeks now on how to remind you how to get into that workshop. So as a real quick reminder though, under development and training, student success workshops, you will see the list of everything that's available. We're into November now, so you can go ahead and scroll through and see everything that's being offered right now in November, and you can start to see it kind of gets a little less availability as we get closer into December. So you want to make sure you register, attend, and send your certificate of attendance before the end of the semester. Also, please pay attention in the next week or so. I will be sending out emails saying, hey, week 1 is reopened. So anyone who has work from week 1 of the semester, if you want to get back into that week and make up work if you missed points from early on in the semester, I will start reopening just those very beginning weeks, week 1, 2, 3. So be on the lookout for those announcements and take advantage of those opportunities. All right, so let's go ahead and hop into our lessons folder. We're scrolling down into week 12. Make sure that you spend some time with the lecture. We're in chapter 10, so the chapter 10 lecture video is loaded in there. View that, look at the textbook, the slides, whatever you need to do to get comfortable with the concept. Chapter 12 is about financial literacy, and so there are 3 assignments this week. What you're used to seeing in a discussion forum, your original response due by Wednesday for your weekly attendance, respond to 2 classmates by Sunday, your chapter 10 assignment, and a chapter 10 quiz. So same format that you're used to seeing over the last several weeks. So as I have already mentioned, make sure you spend some time in the text, in the slides, in the video to make sure that you're comfortable with the content of the chapter. All right, so let's take a look at your discussion forum. Your prompt is pretty straightforward. How do you feel when you do not have enough money for something? Will you stop spending on someone's while you build up your emergency fund? So as I have talked about in the lecture videos, like when it comes to like money management, financial literacy, it's something that I think we all have to think about all the time, whether we're at the beginning of our career, midway through, toward retirement, it doesn't seem to matter. We have to think about how we're managing our money. And so, we're at different points. I'm sure everyone in here is at a different place with where they are with their money management abilities and comfortability level. But still, how do you feel when you don't have enough money for something, whether that's a smaller purchase or a larger purchase that you're looking like a home or a car? Will you stop spending on once while you build up your emergency fund? So post your original response by Wednesday for your weekly attendance and respond to 2 classmates by Sunday. All right, chapter 10 assignment, know before you owe. This is a nice kind of thinking through process about tuition and information connected to that. So you're going to open up this PDF here, and it's going to have an example up here of how to fill this out, and I'm going to walk you through it real quickly. So you can see that at first these 2 columns start to look very similar, and so what you're going to do is going to go to our Stark State homepage. I'll go back so you can see exactly how I got here, and at the very bottom of the page you're going to go to tuition and fees under quick links. If you don't know this information, this is helpful information to know how much you're having to pay each semester. For right now, we're not going to worry about all these other fees down below because a lot of these are specific to majors. We're just going to pay attention to this table right here. So this is where we're going to get this information. And so what this wants you to do is student A and student B are going to have the same tuition and fees. They're going to have the same room and board. Now, we don't have room and board here, so you're going to build in, like maybe you have gas money, technology associated cost, like for internet and that kind of thing. And then your expense total. So tuition and fees, you're going to go back and you're going to look. Are you taking 6 credits? Right here. Now, if you're a CCP student or you're on the free tuition, go ahead and just build in how many credits you are taking, how much it would cost if you were paying for this. So how many credits you're taking, and then the correlated number of fees. So let's just say I'm taking 6 credits, so 1167.60. I'm going to do that for both. Okay, so there is my fees. Now let's say that since I'm not living on campus, we don't have a dormitory campus, I'm calculating in gas, maybe technology, and just kind of books and things like that. So let's say every semester I am also having to spend about another $500 to make sure that I am having everything that I need. So we're about, I know that's really squished in there. Same over here. All right, this is where it's going to differ. Student 1 is going to have more than enough financial aid to cover it, scholarships or grants or whatever the case is. So I'm going to say, let's say they get $2,500. Okay, so when I take that and I subtract my expense total minus my total there, I'm going to get a negative number, which actually means that's how much they are getting back. That's kind of their refund amount. Now over here, I'm going to say that they're not getting enough money. So let's say there's only $1,000. They only have $1,000 coming in. So that means this student is still going to owe $667.60. Okay, so that's kind of the first step, how I fill out this table. It's going to look the same right here, and then this is where it's going to be different. Remember, a negative number means that's actually a refund coming back to the student. So I complete that. Then it says under here, answer the following questions. What should student with excess aid do with their refund check? List 2 ways to use the money wisely. So right here, what should this student do? Should they put it back on their loan? Should they use that to buy a new laptop? You know, what should they do with that? What should the student who owes over here do to cover the difference? List 4 ways to pay their balance and rank those ways from most desirable to least desirable. Should they get an on-campus job? Should they apply for another loan? Should they try to look for scholarship? You know, what could they do to cover that? So you're going to make sure that you save with your changes and then answer those questions. You'll upload that file and then go ahead and answer those questions right here. You know, this is up here, the student who gets a refund. This down here is the student who has to owe. So you're filling this table out, saving this and uploading it, but then you're answering these questions as well. And if you want, you can answer those on, you know, if you're able to edit the PDF or a Word document, or just write in here like I've done there. All right, so if you have questions on that, please let me know. Then the last thing that you're doing is your Chapter 10 quiz. So you want to make sure that you get your quiz going. Another thing I'm starting to see a little bit more of is, remember, we need to answer in 2 to 5 questions, or excuse me, 2 to 5 sentences. Every question, 2 to 5 sentences, and make sure we're not just skipping questions. I've had several quizzes the last couple of weeks, just people have skipped a question. So question 1 just asks about your budget. If you realized your expenses were greater than your income, what could you do? Question 2 is really having you think about using banks or credit unions. You know, what do you think you should consider when trying to decide between them? How do you know which one is best for you? If you had to lead a discussion on financial literacy, really honing in on credit cards, what should be included in that talk, specifically in regards to credit cards, you know, the pros, cons type thing. Question 4, use the 5-step financial planning process to help Danny create a plan for purchasing a laptop. So walk through all 5 steps as related to this little scenario here. And then question 5, compare, contrast grants, loans, and work study. What are their commonalities? What are their differences? And which one's the best way to go? All right, so as a quick recap, make sure you post your original response by Wednesday for week 12 attendance. Your Chapter 10 assignment, Know Before You Owe, is due Sunday. And then Chapter 10 quiz is due Sunday, along with your responses to classmates. If you have any questions, let me know. Have a great week.